Evening. I'll call the meeting to order. Welcome to the North Rose-Wolcott Central School Board of Education meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is the approval of the agenda. A motion, please, to approve tonight's agenda. Leslie and Linda, any discussion? All in favor? Motion is carried. We begin tonight with our presentations, and I'll turn that part of the agenda over to Mr. Pullen to make the introductions.
Thank you, Mrs. Collier. So tonight I'm very pleased to welcome this fine young lady up to the podium to speak to the Board of Education. Miss Remy is one of the students that I would probably say have had one of the longest relationships with in the district, and she's been an absolute blessing to me in my time here as the superintendent, and a joy to work with her. And usually I get notes or pictures from her and Phoebe, and I will say to you, they're not always just the sunshine and rainbows. Last year she made a point of telling me it was warm and we needed air conditioning. So I wrote back to her and said, Remy, I agree with you. We do need air conditioning, and we're putting it into our capital projects. So I'm going to ask Remy to come on up, and I don't know if Mrs. Hake's going to introduce you or if Mrs. Mason's going to introduce you, but whichever one of you wants to come up and introduce her. All right, very good. Come on up, Remy. So.
This is my pleasure to introduce to you Remy Brooks. She is a fourth grade student at NRWE. Remy is a great example of the excellence and leadership of students that we see in our elementary school. She models all of our Cougar Pride traits. She excels in all of her classes and all core content, and she's involved in many extracurricular activities. I'm so pleased to introduce Remy Brooks.
Hello, my name is Remy Brooks, and I am a fourth grader in Miss Mason's class. I do lots of fun activities at school and after school at NRWE. I am in student council, and I am the president this year. I am also in band, choir, and I play soccer and basketball. I received Rotary Student of this month this year, and I like these activities because I like to do sports for fun and be a part of the school. What I like about NRWE is that the teachers are friendly, and I also like that there are so many books to offer at NRWE. I love to read all the time. I like to read history books as well as historical fiction. What I would change is that there would be air conditioning upstairs. It is very hot on the third floor, and I cannot focus when it is very hot. In conclusion of the speech, I would like to thank the people who allowed me to speak here tonight. I am going to miss all my teachers at NRWE school, at the elementary school, but I'm excited for middle school.
Remy, do you mind if they ask you some questions or give you some feedback?
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone?
I have a question for you.
All right.
What's the last book you've read?
The last book I read was about fossils.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's a book on science.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have enough books on science in our library?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Because I was going to say, if Mrs. Hake needs to order some more, we'll make sure we do that.
Remy, it was so wonderful to hear you talk about all the things you like.
Thank you.
I was real pleased that you like to read. And I think personally, historical fiction is the best. So good for you.
Thanks.
And next year you're moving on to to the middle school for 5th grade?
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Thanks.
And thank you for coming to visit us.
You're welcome.
Great job, honey. Thank you very
you.
much. She's a tough act to follow, but I'm going to ask that Miss Rupp come on up. I believe that, Remy will be excited to know the middle school has air conditioning. And we don't even need to include that in our SCEP, but Crystal's going to go over the plan that she and Megan have worked on with staff and several stakeholders. So we just want to take a few minutes to share that with the Board of Education.
Good evening. So I am going to be giving you an update on our school comprehensive education plan that we have put together throughout the year. So just to give you an overview, the purpose of our SCEP is to have a strategic plan that we have developed collaboratively with our teachers, administrators, and parents. This plan was really aimed to improve our academic outcomes, equity, and student experiences specifically for our ENL, Hispanic, and migrant learners. Throughout this plan, we've had a focus on equity and inclusion, where we really look to prioritize differentiated instruction, embedded professional development, and inclusive communication strategies. And our central goal is to ensure all students and families are supported and represented in school improvement efforts. So throughout this year, we have met monthly with this team, and we've had opportunities to review the data at the middle school within our district. We've completed some staff surveys, student surveys, and really had an opportunity to just be vulnerable and discuss some of the things that we're seeing with our students in this population specifically. We also had an opportunity to invite some of our ENL parents and hear from them, and that was really important to us, for them to know that we really do want to do whatever possible to help their families and their children succeed. So through this plan for next year, we really are focusing on 3 instructional key strategies. The first strategy is embedded professional development. So our goal is that PD is integrated into grade level teams. So at the middle school, we have our grade level teams meeting every other day. And during this time, we're really going to work to implement some professional development on differentiation, strategies for ENL, Hispanic, migrant students, and students with disabilities. And we're going to complete this work with our instructional coach, our ENL teacher, and support through BOCEs. And we are going to make sure that bi-monthly we have these team meetings specifically with our ENL teacher, so she can come in and have some discussions specifically about our ENL students. And we're going to make sure that we have that co-planning time for our ENL teacher as well. Our next strategy is involved around equitable family engagement. So this strategy is actually just refined from the SCEP from this past year. And our goal for this is to increase accessibility of the family survey. So at the end of this year, we will be sending out our family survey. And what we're going to be doing is making sure that our families for our ENL students or Hispanic speaking families, we're going to have point of contacts, reach out to the families, and use our Proprio services to be able to get their responses for the surveys, because we really value that information and we want to strengthen our school family partnership to ensure all voices are heard. Our third strategy is around our targeted WIN groups for ENL students. And WIN, again, is our intervention and accelerated time for what a student needs, so what I need. This is an expanded strategy from the plan this past year, and it really focuses in on our small group reading and writing support for our ENL students. This will also include quarterly report cards going home for our ENL students to show specific progress monitoring in their goals with reading and writing. And this is designed to really personalize instruction for our ENL students outside of the services that they're already receiving. And our goal is to boost academic achievement. So through this plan, to ensure progress monitoring and to look at our outcomes, we will be using data such as our iReady growth from fall to spring. We'll also be looking at student attendance rates, and the goal is 85%. Our academic grades each quarter, and the goal for students for their GPA to be at least 85% or higher. And then referral reductions and increase family survey participation. We also, not only are we going to be sending out that family survey, but students also are completing a survey, and we also are having our staff members complete the survey. We specified one question on each of these surveys, and our goal is for 90% of our students to agree that their teachers care about them. Our goal for staff is that 90% of staff report differentiation for ENL learners, that they're providing that. And for families, 90% of our families feel included in school decision making. So right here, you will see with our New York State ELA and math scores from 22-23 to 23-24, when we first found out that we were a targeted school, in the light green, you'll see we scored 1s and 2s in all subgroup areas. And last year, we found out with our New York State assessment scores with ELA and math, we are currently at a 4 for all areas, with ELL not being assessed because of the low amount of students. So we're really happy with that growth. So next steps is for me to be here tonight to explain what's going on with this plan and what our next steps are specifically with the plan. To get your board approval, we then will submit to the state. We will make sure these strategies are reflected in our school improvement plans, and we will continue to monitor our progress throughout the 25-26 school year. And I did want to share that we're always looking for parent participation in these meetings. It's really important to us, and we're very thankful to all the staff and parents who have helped us with this work this year. Any questions?
I think it's marvelous to look at this graph and see that you've moved from 1s and 2s up to 4s in all areas.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
We're very excited. We're very proud of our students and teachers.
Yes, absolutely.
And we
Congratulations.
thank you. We really kind of attribute that to some of the differences in systems that we've made over the past few years, the changes we've made in our master schedule with adding in the intervention and acceleration time, and really looking at to see, not just the intervention piece, but having those accelerated classes as well for some of our students is really important. Yes.
And this was 5th through 8th, right? It was all the middle school kids. It wasn't just a certain subset,
Yeah,
correct?
grades
Okay.
5 through 8.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I guess not.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much.
So keeping with that theme of good news and sharing our progress, I'd like to welcome Mrs. Hake and Mr. Stopka up to the microphone. I know it says it's a mid-year improvement plan update, but you'll recall due to some scheduling stuff, they haven't had a chance to give you their mid-year update. Megan will share the highlights for the year-end data with the Board of Education in July. She and I will present that to you, but I wanted to give Ben and Karen an opportunity to come present to you as well. So I think what you've noticed over the past several months is that the focus on the whole child really is translating to some very nice success socially, emotionally, and academically. So I'm going to turn it over to you, see what you guys can share with the board tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. Karen Hake, the principal at the elementary school, and with me is Ben Stopka, the assistant principal. And we're really excited to share some data with you on our mid-year school improvement plan. Again, we align with the district mission and vision, and some of the things you will see are consistent with the middle school and high school, as we've made sure the 3 buildings were aligned. Our first commitment was to provide professional development that focused on student needs in order to build capacity of our teachers and staff so that we can make improvements for all of our students. So some updates is we developed the professional development plan in the summer, and we did a great job sticking to it, making sure that we provided instructional coaching opportunities for all teachers and staff. We also had in-person and asynchronous professional development opportunities, including iReady and DataMate, sorry. And most importantly, our restorative practices. In October, Peaceful Schools came and spoke to all of the staff in the district, and then we were able to have Peaceful Schools in all of our Tier 1 meetings throughout the year at each grade level. Administrators conducted walkthroughs and leveraged leadership conversations with teachers to look at instruction. We had vertical team meetings within the building as well as within the district, throughout the district, and our school-wide book studies that really focused on social emotional needs and how we can use best practices.
For Commitment 2, our aim was to increase opportunities for family and community engagement in decision-making processes in order to strengthen the relationship between staff, students, and families. Really, this entire goal for us centered around family communication. We started off early surveying our families to determine a preferred method of communication. We have many at our disposal, many of which are technology-based. Once we were able to identify preferred methods, we were able to provide some technology support to all of our families and how to leverage those tools best, including our families who English may be a second language. In terms of our face-to-face interactions, we have packed house Cubby Club assemblies each month at the elementary school to celebrate academic and behavioral achievements for our students, as well as our monthly Cougar Pride parent meetings, which we use to plan community events, interact with community partners and families to provide support at those events, like today, Field Day, for instance. We also have parent-teacher conferences that are extremely well attended. The doors are open, the house is full, so we have a lot of opportunities for face-to-face communications with our families. In addition, we have our Cougar Pride team and our student safety team, which are really in-house, again, working on those activities, those connections, how can we reach out to the community, and even in the last case, getting our students involved in the decision-making processes and part of the actual team of the school.
And our third commitment was we're committed to providing a welcoming and affirming environment that fosters effective communication, meets each student's social emotional needs, and promotes cultural competence. So some updates here is we've had structured morning meeting times in all schedules where teachers can begin the day teaching our Cougar Pride traits and social emotional skills. Counselors pushed in September and October and provided second step instruction in all classrooms for all students. They then gave the teachers extension lessons to use on their own at morning meeting. As Ben mentioned, we have monthly Cubby Club assemblies where here we celebrate our Cougar Pride and the positive traits that our students are exhibiting and review the discipline data at both our Cougar Pride team and our safety meetings so that we can have discussions. Which brings us to our faculty meetings as well, where we have either a discipline or safety scenario or tabletop discussion with all of our faculty, and that really gives a good time to collaborate with each other. We have a coordinator of behavioral services this year. We've really improved and streamlined our check-in, check-out process. And our Cougar Care Room has been crucial in implementing the social emotional learning. It provides a lot of restorative practices for our students, and we have trained the staff in that. That really helps prevent issue from becoming an office referral. Now for the exciting, so we have some data. Our first goal was to increase iReady math proficiency by 10% from fall to spring. So the light green is the fall when they came in September, and this was the end of May, beginning of June. So we did meet the 10% at each grade level. This was the first year all of our students took iReady. It is a difficult test and challenging test, but a good one as well, and they take it independently, and we made that 10% growth there. Very exciting is the kindergarten in grade 1 took it for the very first time the first week in June, and this was their results. These were kindergartners who took an independent computer-based assessment. 69% were on grade level on iReady in kindergarten, and in 4th grade, 47%. And next year, we hope to continue to see the 10% growth. For reading, again, the 10% from fall to spring. So here is our reading data. 3rd grade really improved there as well. Again, with 2nd and 4th. Really exciting. Our kindergarten reading data is almost 80% for end of the year, and our first grade was 48%. And again, the first time they took it. And what we noticed is the iReady, especially for reading, was more closely aligned to our set assessment data that you will see. This is our set assessment data from fall to spring. So this is that, like we mentioned before, that Monday through Friday, where the students are with the teachers at small group reading and answering their comprehension questions. So kindergarten, that's the kindergarten improvement and so on. So we did not see 10% in third and fourth, but we did in the beginning of the year have a lot of students who were reading pre-reading sets. And by the end of third and fourth grade, they're expected to read deep level chapter books that a lot of them had not read previously and really have an understanding of those. So we're going to continue to hope for that 10% in those grades as well.
So in addition to the academic data that Karen just presented, another of our goals was to decrease our behavior referrals by 10% this school year. So this data is compiled so far up through the month of May. We're well on target to meet that. There's a number of factors that are playing into that. As Karen mentioned, first and foremost, I would say the Cougar Care Room has really been instrumental in helping us really implement restorative practices, restore relationships, repair damage that's done, rebuild kids' trust in the adults and in their peers and get them back in class, first and foremost. Having the coordinator of behavioral services has also been a huge plus as it helps us really leverage our community partners with the youth advocacy program, Wayne Behavioral, family counseling services, really centralizing our access to those for our students and families has been instrumental.
Any questions? Comments?
It was wonderful to see the math scores improve throughout the year. Math has been a tough cookie for us for quite a few years overall, and you're making good progress here. That's wonderful.
Thank you. It has been. I do believe having our math committee formed earlier this year has helped with that, looking at those standards and those math practices that we should be implementing. And we're going to continue to have that math committee next year as well.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Linda?
I just from thinking back a few years ago and how pre-kindergarten and kindergarten students and their reading skills have really rocketed. It's great to see. It's great to see.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So mine is just primarily housekeeping stuff for the Board of Education and the community, just to keep everybody apprised. So as I said, Megan and I will do a academic year review in July. But for our community and for the board, the last several weeks have been extremely busy with many events happening. But just to kind of bring those big concluding moments of the academic year together. Next week, the elementary pre-K graduation's on Tuesday, and then the fourth grade graduation is on Wednesday. And then eighth grade moving up and awards is also on Wednesday, the 18th. The 18th, excuse me. And then something that we've been doing the last few years, it's really one of the highlights of my year, honestly, is looking at, the beginning and the end of their academic careers here at North Rose-Wolcott, where our elementary students parade with our seniors. So I think the staff love that. I think the students really appreciate that. And it's the first step toward recognizing academics are coming to a conclusion here for our high school seniors. Additionally, next Tuesday and Wednesday night, we have Wayne Tech and Career Center completion events, 6 o'clock and then 7:15. So it's a busy week for us, but the one that I'm really particularly fond of and really looking forward to is sending our class of 2025 off into the real world Friday night at 6 o'clock. So just wanted to give you that highlight, just kind of invite the board to be involved with as much of that as you possibly can be to celebrate your commitment to our students and your commitment to our academic programs. And, you know, Nicole said it yesterday, and you'll hear it again next Friday. You know, the Board of Education being a voluntary role, it can sometimes feel like a thankless position, but it's really imperative to have one group, one uniform approach, and everybody rowing in the same direction when it comes to making sure our academic programs and our students are getting the absolute best that we can offer to our community. And I would say that you guys exemplify that, so thank you. You know, that stuff is never lost on me. And I hope that you understand and realize how much as a district we appreciate your commitment and what you do for our students. So I would gladly welcome any of you to participate in those events with me next week. And again, I look forward to next Friday night. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pullen. It's truly our honor to serve our district and to be part of the growth and achievement of the kids in our communities. At this time, we'll move on to board correspondence and reports. Leslie, do you have anything to report from the elementary school?
I do. Mrs. Hake is always good at getting me the report, even if I don't remember to ask for it. Lots and lots of things happening, right? Every school has all kinds of things going on. I actually got to go to the Memorial Day assembly at the elementary school, and I hadn't been before, so that was a really neat assembly to go to. I love how they have the veterans. They get their own section, their own seats, and the kids get to sit with them. That was pretty special. It looks like a really, really great community thing, so I'm glad we do that. They also placed a bunch of flags, so that's something the fourth graders get to do, and I love that they got to place 1,427 flags. That's a lot of little kids' steps in the cemetery, so they did a good job. They've all finished iReady. I'm sure they're all excited about that, teachers and students. That sounds like they've done a great job, and we saw some good data to prove that. They've even gotten pizza, ice cream, popcorn, and all kinds of incentives to keep it rolling, right? And of course, June is really busy. I was at field day for a little while today. Really fun, controlled chaos is what it looked like. It was a good day. It sounds like they've also done lots of field trips, which is kind of neat because I don't know that that's been a lot of students haven't had very many field trips. So they've been to Chimney Bluffs. They got to go to the North Rose Railroad Company, Alassa Farms, the zoo, all kinds of field trips. I'm pretty sure they're going to the dugout. I think I remember hearing, maybe it was just the middle school, but I thought somebody said that. Anyways, stealing somebody's thunder. The orchestra came on the 11th, so they got to see some really neat orchestra instruments. Let's see. I heard about the Bubble Man from my daughter too. Even she saw the Bubble Man. So my 19-year-old liked the Bubble Man. They had let's see. Oh, Flag Day is coming up, so that's going to be today's Thursday, right? That's tomorrow. Flag Day event is tomorrow, and that's at 9:30. Yes, 9:30 in the morning. So I haven't checked the weather. Is it going to be a good day for that? Okay, good. And then another assembly in the afternoon. So there's some more events, like the June 16th is the senior sibling walk. I think everybody gets excited for that one. So the elementary school kids, that's a highlight for them. Cubby Club on the 16th, UPK graduation and the fourth grade graduation, like Mr. Pullen said. And then, of course, the last day of school is June 20th. No parties that day, I'm sure. Good stuff happening.
Thank you. Busy time at the elementary school. Travis, how about the middle school?
So on Friday, June 6th, the fourth graders visited the middle school. There was a presentation where the kids were able to ask the principal and the fifth graders some questions, followed by a tour of the building given by the members of the National Junior Honor Society. The last weeks of the school are full of excitement for our students. Friday, June 13th, the 8th grade trip to Darien Lake. Mike touched on some of these dates as well, but I'll go over them again. June 17th, we will hold our 7th grade end of the year awards at 1:30, and June 18th will be our 5th and 6th grade awards at 1:30. Wednesday, June 18th is our 8th grade dinner, moving up ceremony, and award assembly. Friday, June 20th is our last day. We will be having field day in the morning and our talent show in the afternoon starting at 12:30. That's always a good time. I enjoy the talent show. Students who showed growth this year in iReady reading and math will be treated to ice cream at the dugout. And Ms. Rupp wanted to pass along, there's been a great year full of growth, learning, and fun. We are so proud of our staff and students for all their hard work this year. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. John isn't here for the high school. Nicole, is there anything you'd like to say about the high school? Okay.
I have 3 pages on
Okay, thank you. It's been a busy month at the high school, like all of the other buildings. We kicked off this month with 2 major events, the Festival of the Arts and our academic awards ceremony. That evening, we gave away over $1 million in scholarship money to our students in grades 9 through 12. So it was a pretty amazing event. Our seniors enjoyed class trips to Green Lake State Park and Watkins Glen. And this year, our combined junior-senior prom at Coloca last Saturday saw record attendance. It was a lovely evening. On Monday, our seniors are going to return to the elementary school, as we said, for their beloved senior walk. Tomorrow, our students pick up cap and gowns, our seniors. And then today we welcomed our 8th grade friends over for their incoming 9th grade orientation. They had lunch at the high school, walked the halls, talked to some upperclassmen, so it was really a nice event for students to get a feel of the high school. And then earlier this month, our musical club performed at the L&B Awards hosted by Newark High School. And we are thrilled to announce that we had some winners. So Julia Shipley won the Producer Award. Marcus Hafner won the Show Must Go On Award. Caleb Belcom won the Best Featured Performer in a Drama or Musical for his role as the King. And Alston Hernandez won the Best Performer in Supporting Male Role for The Minstrel. So it was an exciting month, and we end next Friday with our high school commencement.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I think Tina Reed, you're going to report for the Cougar Ops.
Yes. Mark provided me the information. Cougar Ops has been working with a number of students to complete graduation requirements to enable a June graduation. So they're kind of pulling everything together there. So we'll have some nice success. Also working for successful completion for Regents exams for some of our students that are lacking in that area. The year has been very successful, busy, but very successful. And he'd like to share much appreciation to the collaborative relationships with teacher staff at the building level, as well as administrators in the Board of Education. Thanks, Mark.
Well, thank you, everyone. It's a busy time here at the end of the school year, and it sounds like it's been a good year. Linda, do you have anything to report from 4 county school boards or the legislative committee?
Well, we did enjoy the 50th anniversary gathering at Club 86 to celebrate 50 years and all the changes and growth. 4 County Legislative Committee will be meeting again this month, but then a little break this summer before we will continue to be delving into federal things, which will be interesting work. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Nothing for handbook, nothing for audit. Travis, anything from safety?
Well, I guess I can talk about, there was a committee put together to talk about the new policies that we need to vote on. It's the heat bill policy, which talks about how hot it can be in the school building before we need to close down. And the other one is the cell phone. And I think the committees have been put together and are making, can you speak to that, Mike?
Yes, so the cell phone committee's actually met to review the policy and some potential input from stakeholders. So we have community members, we have staff members, students, and administrators. So we're making good progress with that. I believe they have their second meeting set up and they're looking to act on that. So that shouldn't be too difficult to hit that August 1st timeline. And then with the heat bill that Travis is referring to, we've got to talk a little bit more about the actual language on the policy with the policy committee. But that's something where, again, many of the measures that are coming out of it from a state directive are things that we do naturally. And as you heard Remy say earlier, we need air conditioning on the third floor. So maybe by the time Phoebe graduates elementary school or her little brother's there, we'll have it. But we're making good progress with respect to those things. And I do believe that our committee, and I'm going to particularly praise the student input for the cell phone, they were very objective and gave us some very good perspective, because this is something that, again, is a state law. We did not have a lot of opportunity to offer input, and the students were fabulous. So we're looking forward to continue our work with them and implementing it.
Thank you. Tina, is there anything for personnel
Nope, we're set.
or communication
Nope, we're just ongoing.
or policy?
Ongoing.
Ongoing, okay. At this time, Tina, is there anyone who would like to speak to the board? There's no one. No one, all right, thank you. At this time, we need to go into a short executive session before the consent agenda. Is there a motion, please, to go into executive session? Travis and Linda, any discussion? All in favor? Motion is carried. We'll be back very shortly. In session, and we are at number 5, the consent agenda. A motion, please, to approve the consent agenda. Travis and Leslie, any discussion? The consent agenda takes you over to page 11. Hearing no discussion, all in favor of approving the consent agenda? Motion is carried. Number 6, roll call vote. Items number 1, appoint the district MTSS personnel and the aquatics program. Number 2, motion please for approval. Tina and Leslie. Roll call, please, Tina.
Cinda?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
John is absent. Shelley is absent. Linda?
Yes.
Leslie?
Yes.
Travis?
Yes.
Thank you, motion carried.
A motion, please, to approve the aquatics program. Linda? Tina? Any discussion? Would you call the roll, please?
Cinda?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
John is absent. Shelley's absent. Linda?
Yes.
Leslie?
Abstain. It's family.
Travis?
Yes.
All right, we are at the time of board member requests, comments, and discussion. Does anyone have anything? Linda?
I do have some information from our BOCES meeting on Monday. BOCES now has audiology services that they can deliver in Newark. They have a new, very wonderful audiology booth for testing students, which is great. They even have tympanometer so that kids with ear infections or, of course, I get excited about that. Anyway, so it's a great step forward for all the districts and students and even preschoolers. So, and the second thing was Kelly Ekdahl, who has been working on Data Dashboard. We had a presentation from Heather Schussler. She has been working on data that districts can use for regionalization, and it was phenomenal what she's accomplished. I know she has gone to some districts and done presentations, but it includes data about local support and district improvement, local standing and district improvement, targeted support and improvement, districts that are targets, that have target schools, and data about that, comprehensive supports and improvements, and demographics as well. But the beauty of it is that she has organized this all so that districts can find similar districts and see what success they're having and get more information to help across the board in all the districts. So it was pretty exciting to see.
Great. Anyone else? I want to thank Mr. Pullen for giving some old North Rose Central School graduates a tour of the elementary building last Sunday for the Rose Historical Society. He showed the improvements in the auditorium, the gym, the library, the cafeterias, and that was all we could walk. We couldn't do the whole building. But it was kind of fun to hear some of them sit and talk in the auditorium about what it was like when they were in school and how different. And so I thank you, Mr. Pullen, for making yourself available for that tour. I also wanted to tell the high school and Mr. Pullen administration how wonderful the graduation was this week for the exchange student. she won't be here for graduation. And so a special one was given for her, and I'm sure she was most appreciative, and it will be one of the highlights of her experience here at North Rose-Wolcott. So thank you for that. Any good news that I guess that would have all been good news, wouldn't it? Anything else anyone wants to add?
I actually forgot about the Festival of Arts for the elementary school.
Okay.
I got to go to that and I really liked it. And it's too bad Remy is gone, because I would say, Remy, I will vote for air conditioning in the elementary school any day that comes across my desk. Yeah, no, I'm just teasing. But it was really well done. I thought the kids did great, and it was very well attended. So that was another really good community event. I liked it.
Great. That completes our agenda then for tonight. I will entertain a motion for adjournment. Linda and Tina, any discussion? All in favor? Motion is carried. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming, and good